So, I wanted to do a live stream just to kind of get the feel for everything or whatever, but also because I just kind of wanted to be able to interact with you guys. But oh, sorry, I'm so sorry. First of all, hey y'all, how y'all doing today? I hope everybody's doing good. So far, I think everybody is on summer break for the most part. So I hope everybody's off to a great summer. My name is Kiera Shanice. I am a teacher that has been living and working in the country of Kuwait for the last year. And well, the last academic year. I haven't quite reached my 1 year mark. I'll be 1 year as of August. So it's coming up slowly but surely. Let me adjust this light 1 second, y'all. Okay, that's so. I will have been living and working in Kuwait as of 1 year as of August. So 10 months here, and my experience so far has been a pretty pleasant one. But for those of you that have been watching it and following me since I posted my first video almost a year ago, thank you guys for all of the positive feedback, all of the support. I really appreciate it. You guys are amazing. And for all of the new people, welcome. And I hope you guys enjoy the content. I hope that you guys find this helpful. But yeah, so first of all, today I went and I got a Moroccan bath. And oh my gosh, I'm going to share that all with y'all. Yes, I vlogged the whole thing. Well, not the whole thing because I couldn't. But man, that was Cowfish. Hey, how are you doing? Um, but that was amazing. If you have not had a Moroccan bath, yo, you have to try it. I almost didn't get up for my live because after I got my Moroccan bath, then I came back and I was like, dang, like I was so relaxed and I just felt so good. So I almost didn't come in, but I was like, nah, I gotta go, talk to my people or whatever. But like I said, back to the reason for this live. I wanted to kind of share with you guys, the school year has officially ended for me. So just kind of sharing my experiences and answering some of the questions that you guys asked me like on the regular. So for starters, my first impressions and what is it like living in Kuwait. I have touched on this before, but now, like I said, I've finished a whole school year. So like things change. And once you get to know the country a little bit better, your perception kind of changes. Overall, Kuwait is really hot. Like, and I said that from the beginning and it doesn't change. Like during about, I think it was like, maybe September, no, not September, like October-ish, it started getting cold. And we actually had, where you could wear your winter coats and things like that. So it was really nice weather. And from what I was told, the summer or the warm season usually starts around like March, but we got lucky because it didn't start until about April. So we got like an extra month of that cool winter. But man, when the summertime started, like when the heat started, it started like with the vengeance. The regular temperature daily was no less than like 88 degrees, and then from 88, and I'm from US, so I go by Fahrenheit. But so from 88, it just steadily progressed. I think today, let me, y'all think I'm playing. I think today outside it is 1 second, please hold. It is 105 degrees outside, y'all. 105 degrees Fahrenheit. And then the high was 111. And then on Tuesday, it's supposed to be 119. I don't know if y'all see that down there. 119 degrees. So yeah, it's hot. But other than that, the people here are genuinely nice. I've met some really nice people, Kuwaitis, people from other countries as well. It's just a nice country. In my opinion, it is relatively safe, and I stick by that. Like I actually left my my debit card in one of my taxis one day, and the taxi driver or whoever, the girl that got in the taxi after me told the guy, hey, I think the person left their debit card. They came and found me and brought me my debit card back. So it's things like that, typically you lose a debit card, you have to call, cancel it, and that's it. Halas, finished. But Like, and I know several people have had similar experiences with things like that. Um, and so overall, it's a really nice place. And it's been a wonderful, wonderful experience to be able to live here and work here and get to know the culture and get to know the people. Um, the negative things is probably the driving. Like, driving in Kuwait, I don't drive yet. I'm hoping to get my driver's license soon or whatever. But driving and riding in taxis and stuff in Kuwait is, man, it's 0 out of 10. Would not recommend. The driving here is trash. Like, tomato, basuda is horrible. I'm sorry to all all of my Kuwaiti friends out there, but y'all know the driving is horrible here. Like, there's just no like, everybody feels like they have the right of way, and there's no use of turn signals. Every time you stop, it's like almost about to hit somebody or whatever. So yeah, it's 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 crazy. That's like my least favorite part, that and the heat. But food, there's so many restaurants, there's so many things to eat, there's a lot of shopping. And then as far as things to do, I have a good friend group, and I'm also a very outgoing person or whatever. And this is not like to toot my own horn or anything like that, but I'm just an outgoing person. So I will naturally try and find something to do and make the best out of the situation. And so that's kind of what you have to do here, because there aren't any bars, there's not any clubs, there's not things like that to do, but there are things to do. You know, there's the museums. I went to a karaoke spot the other night. There's tons and tons and tons of different hookah bars. People host little events and things like that or whatever. So there are things to do. They have Follicle Island, all the malls, ice skating, regular rollerblade skating, bowling, movie theaters. There's tons and tons of things to do. You just have to go look for them. Like, you can't expect things to just fall on your lap per se to be able to do. So that's pretty much the living here. I live in my company housing, so I live in a teacher building or whatever. And yeah, okay, so I'm doing good. I'm actually having a really good day today. Thank you for asking. Where's the good place to stay in Kuwait? So, really, the best areas are going to be, in my opinion, Salmiya. Salmiya is near like the coast. So you have like quote unquote beaches there or whatever. And there's a lot of things to do, a lot of restaurants, and a lot of things are in walking distance in Salmiya. And then also, if you can get in like, into Kuwait City, obviously that's kind of like the main place to be. So that's also where a lot of different things are, as well. As far as price wise in those areas, I really don't know. Salmiya, I do have a friend that rents it's like a studio apartment there. And the rent for the studio itself is like 200 KD. It did come furnished, but it's not huge, but it's a nice place, and it's upgraded. It has modern appliances and things like that. So and it's very similar to a lot of things that are in that area. So yeah, I hope that helped answer your question. But now, like, let's talk about the teaching and the working. Y'all, um, this has been by far, and I don't even think that it's Kuwait in general. I think it's worldwide. If anybody is a teacher, um, education has just been um, it's been insane since COVID. Like, we all have had to adjust to the changes, and like, it's been a roller coaster of a year. And I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to Kuwait, but I know, like, when I was getting ready to travel, I started watching the news and watching all the different things. But Kuwait was not playing when it came down to um like quarantine and things like that. So like, the beginning of my year started off, and most of the schools here started off online, and then we had a phase where we went to like what we call split face to face, where my class was split in half. So I would have half of my students in the morning, half of them in the afternoon, and then from there, after winter break, we went back online again. because, people had traveled and had a lot of different things with COVID. And then we finally, after things kind of settled down, we did full face to face. So just having the different schedule changes that made it a lot. Hi Sierra, how are you? Welcome and thank you for watching. You said yes. Was it hard adjusting to your students and vice versa? Um, I think the biggest challenge with the students here is that a lot of these families have nannies, so they're used to kind of having people do things for them, and that's not in a bad way or whatever. But it is an adjustment when you have to like get get students, especially coming from being home all the time, with parents and nannies, to being back in the classroom. So and having to follow rules and kind of do things on their own. So that was an adjustment. But as far as like language and respect and things like that, it really wasn't any different. My kids all speak English. That's their second language. So and they're all fluent in it. So that wasn't really an adjustment. It was hard to learn how to pronounce some names, not all, but yeah. So that wasn't too bad. And what grade do I teach? I teach grade 4. So my kids are ages like 9 through 10. Yeah. And you said in 100 KD, I got the room in Salmia. I can't say for sure because, like I said, I've asked around to be able to kind of give you guys this information. I don't personally rent these things, so I would just recommend. There is a realtor that was recommended to one of my friends that they use to find their place, and I can see if it's okay. I won't guarantee that I'll be able to share her information, but if it's okay, then I will see if I can share her information in like one of my upcoming videos for you. So that way you can get those questions answered about renting and how much it costs in different areas there. But back to like the school year and working. So working hours were pretty standard. I go in to work from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. or whatever. My kids are there from 7:30 to about 2:20ish, 2:30, and then like they have Arabic and they have religion. Religion is not every single day, so you at least get your planning during Arabic, and then when they have their religion, and of course they have specials. So it's pretty similar to the States, as far as at least in my school, because this, like I said, this is my experience or whatever. I do know other people that only teach 3 blocks a day or whatever, but so it's pretty similar to the working hours in the state. Again, there are some schools, even elementary, that go from 7 in the morning to 4 p.m. There's some that go from 8 to 2. It just really depends on the school. And then with private schools in Kuwait, they kind of have a little bit more, it's the same thing as in the States. They have like a little bit more leeway to kind of do not what they want, because of course there's rules and regulations, but they have the leeway to kind of do a little bit different things or whatever, like as far as the time that the students are in and things like that. And I see the question in regards to what school I teach at, just because like I don't ever want any blowback. I want to choose to not disclose my school, and then also for privacy and personal reasons or whatever. So I see your questions, but just know that I teach at a school in Kuwait, and I promise you I'm not trying to be rude. I just, like I said, for privacy and personal reasons or whatever, and I don't want ever any backlash or anything like that from that. But yeah. And then as far as content, for me, grade 4, I teach all 4 subjects. We are not departmentalized at my school, but from grade 5 and up, they are departmentalized. And grade 5 in some schools in Kuwait is considered middle school, which was very different for me. So I teach the same subjects: math, science, English or language arts, social studies, and then the difference is we do have Kuwait social studies. And Kuwait social studies is a curriculum that's put together by the Ministry of Education, and it has to be taught, their way. and there are certain things, because there's it's a lot of censorship that goes on here. Like you can't speak about certain regions, and I'm gonna not name those for this video or whatever, because I know that some of my students have seen my videos or whatever, so I don't want to go into that depth or whatever. But you can't say certain things. You can't share pictures of, like, for instance, I wouldn't even be able to show a picture of me in like a textbook because I don't have sleeves on. So women must be covered. Even with pictures of babies, you can't show a picture of a baby that has like a diaper or anything like that. So the Kuwait social studies, and even just like the censorship when you come, is very, very, it's taken very seriously. And there have been teachers that have been let go in regards to you not following the censorship guidelines, and also for speaking on certain things when teaching the Kuwait social studies. Um, okay. I'm staying Salmia, but only want to change the room. Okay, well, I definitely hope that you'll be able to find something that works for you. Like I said, Salmia is a really nice area to stay in. So if I can get in Salmia, then I would love to stay in Salmia. But yeah, it's a really nice area. So if you can find something that works for you, then that would be great. And then teaching and lesson planning. So lesson planning is very similar to normal lesson planning. We do get our planning time when the kids are in Arabic and specials, and then the occasional religion. And my school is going more towards like the backwards design lesson plans. You Depending on your school, you'll have your curriculum. We follow not Florida, but we follow standards from American schools in the US. And if you're working at an American school, then that's typically how it goes. Like they'll have a state, and they'll follow that particular state's standards for Common Core. Yeah. But I'm trying to make sure I'm answering all y'all questions because it's been so many. And I meant to write everything down, but I literally I didn't. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to just go on live and we just going to have ourselves a good time. But hold on. There was another question that I got all the time about working. Oh, the dress code. So dress code when working, it's pretty much just kind of like, it's a C word. I can't think of the word that I'm thinking of. But you just want to make sure you covered, so no arms out, nothing above the knees or whatever, and no tight fitting clothes. So it's kind of the same as, really, in my opinion, as any other professionally dressed job or whatever. You don't want to wear anything too tight. Modest is, and conservative. That's the word. That's the one, y'all. That's the one that I was looking for. So conservative dressing when when you're going in and out of work. I wore almost the same thing that I wore in the States, but for instance, like if my pants were a little tight, then I would just change them and put on something that was a little more loose fitting. But it is a little difficult because I am a woman that has curves, so I can't hide all the curves, and that's just the nature of it, whatever. Or go in there in something that's skin tight that I had to struggle to even get on in the first place. But it's pretty standard dress. And two, I know I say these things a lot, but I want to reiterate it just in case you only see a part of video to cover myself, because these things do vary from school to school. Like for instance, the school that I was at previously, the international school, we had to wear blazers, and that was even during online or whatever. So it really depends, but it was more of a professional conservative approach to the workplace. But as far as going out, especially now, like it's summertime, so like this year, like I probably wouldn't necessarily go out like this. I'll probably throw on like a shawl or a little just a little cover until I got to my destination. Like if I was going out to eat or whatever. And then once I got to the restaurant or whatever, especially if it was something outside, I could take my shawl off and I would be fine. And even with this, like with it being summertime and it being so hot, people don't really like judge you and say anything. It's more so like when you have the stomach out and you have on the super short shorts, but having on a tank top in the middle of 120-degree weather, you will be fine. So it's, I feel like the Middle East and a lot of Muslim countries have a negative connotation to them if you have not traveled there and lived there. But Kuwait is not like as bad as people have made it seem. Because I know when I first got ready to come here, it was like, oh, why you want to go there and why this? And you know, you're going to have to put on this and you're going to have to wear a hijab. And that's not even true. Like, you do not have to wear a hijab. I have not worn a hijab a single day since I've been here. Nobody has questioned me as to why I don't wear one, and nobody has told me that I have to wear one. So, and just like with the men, you do not have to wear a disasha. A lot of those things are religion based. And the Kuwaiti people are very well aware that there are people of other religions and faiths that live in their countries. And there are actually a couple, that's another question that I got. There are actually a couple Christian churches here, and they're open legally, that people and a couple of my friends attend. So it's not like, oh no, you know, you can't be a Christian, you can't talk about God per se, but it's just not like what people like to make it out to be or whatever. And so far, I'm just really, really, really enjoying my experience. And what else? The cost of living. So it can get pretty expensive here. It can be average, but it depends on what you're buying. Like for instance, with my groceries, I did the video, and on average, I spend anywhere from 20 to 30 KD a week in groceries. But I also meal prep and I also eat healthy. So anytime you eat healthy, which I don't know why, like it costs so much to eat healthy, but anytime you eat healthy, it's going to be more expensive than eating regular. And if I ate junk food all the time or whatever, but like, so it's average. And then even 20 KD for like my groceries for the week, that's about $65. So that's pretty good. And then I'm meal prepping, so I'm not really buying anything extra throughout the week. So if I can spend 65 to $100 a week on groceries, then I feel like I'm doing pretty good, because if you order out every day and night, then it's about the same. So household items, those can be a little bit more pricey. Like for instance, I bought hold on, I'll show it to y'all. Okay, so this is Jif. This is one of the most popular cleaning things in Kuwait, and this was like 1.9 KD. So that's almost $6 or whatever, which is expensive. This is another one, Dettol. This is one of the other popular ones. Same thing, like 1.9, 1.8 KD, $6. That's a lot. However, my Clorox, my American brand, this was like 0.9 fills or whatever, so about $2 or $3, which is kind of expensive for a small bottle, but at the same time it's imported, so this comes from the state or whatever, because it's a US brand or whatever. So yeah, so it's pretty standard, pretty much the same. Hi Sarah, how are you, and welcome. Have you found workarounds for not having everything available always at the grocery stores? So yes. One of the things that I have done is I order on Amazon, and I also have friends that work on a military base or whatever. So I also have things shipped there from home or whatever. But Amazon is gonna be your best friend. Like, and then with Amazon, my orders usually come anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks. So it's not Prime. You're not gonna get it the next day, unfortunately, even if you are a Prime member. But it comes pretty regularly. So me, like when I'm doing, going through and cleaning and stuff, I'm always trying to keep an eye on what I'm running low on or whatever. And I'll either, send a message to my mom and say, hey, can y'all go to the store and get, these couple things or whatever, or I'll put in an order on Amazon. And when you have stuff shipped from the States, it's about the same. It's about a 2 to 3 week turnaround or whatever. So that's kind of what I do. And then I also brought a lot of things over with me that I knew, because I had visited Kuwait in 2019. And so I brought a lot of things from home, such as my spices and stuff like that. And I bought a bulk of them. So I haven't quite ran out yet or whatever. But yeah, so that's kind of what I do. And then even with clothes and shoes and things like that, it's certain things that you can, and you like certain brands, I should say, that you will find, and certain ones that you won't. So if you're really a brandy type person, then I would say make sure you order on Amazon, or just bring it with you when you come. That was a good question, by the way. Um, yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. I know I'm all over the place, but we're just hanging out, and I really I'm really enjoying chatting with y'all. So thank you for everyone that's tuning in right now. Ali, you said, how do I deal with the heat? So honestly, I'm like, my job is like right across the street, so I walk and I come home. But and then a lot of people go out at night, even though honestly at night, like last night I was up until like midnight, and it was 101 degrees at 12 something in the morning. Like, wow, I can't even. It was 101 degrees at 12 o'clock in the morning. So even at night, it's still hot. But just kind of going out at night. And I also wear like a long sleeve or a jacket over, because that kind of helps protect you from the sun. But just kind of get where you got to go, and get inside. And that's it. That's how we deal with the heat. Hey, I'm not sure who. I can't pronounce the first name. I'm sorry, but I'm not sure. Mamela, hey, how are you? And I'm from Iraq originally, so that's normal for us. Yeah, I'm from Florida, and Florida is hot too, but it's a different kind of heat. So, but I'm sure Iraq is like right next door. So, I actually have a friend that's in Iraq right now. But so yeah, it's pretty similar. And yeah, it's just it's a different type of heat. So oh, that's nice. So Minnesota compared to Iraq, I'm sure you feeling pretty good right now. That's nice. I'll be in the States soon, maybe. So yeah, I don't know, we'll see. But back to here. um I don't know, y'all. Like, I really like Kuwait so far. I like the fact of having things. Things are just really, really easy here, and um, it's easy to settle. It's easy to kind of find your way. Like, you have pretty much everything at your fingertips. Like, you have Talabat that will deliver your food. They'll deliver your household items. So in reality, you can come here and never leave your house if you didn't want to. Even things like the health or healthcare or whatever. I had to have a minor surgery done, and the healthcare here was phenomenal. Man, like I'm telling y'all, I went to Dar Al Shifa Hospital, and I was sending videos to my family, and it was like, "Are you at a hotel or a hospital? Like, it's so nice or whatever." And then just when you go places, the service is so good. It's so good. Like, you literally don't have to really ask or want for anything, because it's a lot of hospitality, and a lot of places are very hospitable or whatever. And I always get asked, as far as me being a Black woman, how is it in Kuwait? And here, especially because I'm American, and I said this before in one of my videos, with being an American, it's a different kind of you get a different kind of treatment. And this is the first time that I've actually realized the privilege that I have as an American. So being a Black American woman in Kuwait, I get treated like a queen here. I mean, I'm not getting red carpets rolled out for me or anything, but I get more compliments here on my beauty, and I get people that ask me, to carry my bags and push my cart and stuff like that. So it's I would rather be here, especially now, than in America. Can I give you a breakdown of the holidays that side Eid break, summer vacation, and Christmas break? So for typical American schools, you will most of them acknowledge like Thanksgiving, so but you don't get the whole week like you do in the States. And then you get winter break. Winter break is the length of it depends on your school. Then you will get a week for summer vacation. Eid is dependent on the government. So the day that that Eid fell on, we ended up having like a 9 day break. But if it falls on a different day next year, it could only be like a 2 or 3 day break. But it just really depends. And then for summer vacation again is very dependent upon the school. So like my school, we just got out on June 15th. So literally 2 days ago was my last day of work. And then we'll come back in the middle of August. So that's typical for the American schools. British schools, I can't even touch on it because it's completely different. They recognize different holidays, they take different times off, and then as well as the Arab and other schools here. And the public schools have a lot more time off because they recognize a lot of the government holidays here in Kuwait as well. You said we have Black Arabs as well. We don't have racism at all. Now, like, I wouldn't say it's necessarily racism per se, because it's not racism, definitely not towards color. But there's a lot of classes in Kuwait, like as far as like nationalities per se, but that's a whole different ball game. But it's still, even in my opinion, it's not like the States, with all the craziness that's going on or whatever. But yeah, it's that. I mean, there's some classism, but it's not skin tone based per se. Um, let's see. Okay, I think I answered all the questions, but yeah. So I guess that's kind of it. I'm gonna wind down because I know y'all probably don't believe me, but I really don't like being on camera like that. But I really love sharing my journey, and I really just like the fact that I'm able to help so many people. A lot of you guys have reached out to me, like on my Instagram and stuff like that, and even on my email, asking questions or whatever. And I know for me, like when I was coming over, that I had so many questions, and it's not very many resources to turn to answer. Okay, that was one thing. I will share this in another video, but for those of you that catch this before I'm able to film and edit the other video, if you're coming over, I recommend bringing two phones. Bring two phones because if you're coming over from the States per se. So I have one, this is my American phone, and it's an iPhone, so I can still do Wi-Fi calling and handle business and stuff in the States. And then my other phone, it's an iPhone as well. I mean, it's an old iPhone, but this is my Kuwaiti phone or whatever. And this is my one that, I can get like my Talabat, my Kareem drivers and stuff like that. So make sure you bring two phones if you can, if and unlocked or whatever. I wouldn't say go buy a brand new phone because it's not like that much of a difference, but it does help if you do. And then also, like, if you want to travel while you're here, having the extra phone, you can put the SIM card in like your Kuwaiti phone, and then you don't have to worry about like your Wi-Fi calling going out on your other phone or whatever. But yeah, it's a great place to be. Kuwait is like the melting pot. So everything to travel is within arm's reach. It's not that expensive to be able to do that. And then if you're in education, then you have the time, typically to be able to go and you get to see different places. The thing that I enjoy most, and this is another question, I'm sorry. The thing that I enjoy most about being here is actually meeting the people. I've met some really good people here. And they've shared so much knowledge and just kind of opened up my eyes to so many different things that I was completely oblivious to before I made this journey. So I'm really happy that I decided to do so. And I definitely, I wouldn't change it at all. So that's about it, guys. I know I kind of rambled on for a little bit, but I really do appreciate those of you who stayed in and watched with me. You guys are amazing. I am going to share with y'all my Moroccan bath video in a couple days, so stay tuned for that. Cause man, like I'm telling you, y'all got to go get a Moroccan bath if you haven't had one. But I'm getting ready to go out. So I will see you all, inshallah. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Enjoy your weekend, enjoy your summers, enjoy your vacation, and I'll see you guys soon.